Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for mid-July. Happy birthday to all you early Leos out there. We're gonna jump right in here and see what is going on for you. You have this Spirit of Gratitude and the Sacred Reverence card here. So, it seems to me like we are in a time of gratitude where more gratitude, I think, is going to be more valuable. And sure, we'll just take 3 of these cards. Why not? But it seems to me like everyone is getting these cards of needing to be grateful. And again, I do think gratitude is just a great place to manifest from. It's probably the best place to, manifest your wants and desires from just in general. So, that's what I'll say there. But you have first off, it does seem to me also like there are a lot of people already showing up here in this reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far, which is pretty, that's like kind of a lot in the first part of the reading. So you could just be having a very busy time this month. I feel there could be a lot of things going on for you. It kind of is your solar return. So it makes sense that there might be, an increase in the energy. And I kind of feel you're feeling an increase in the energy this month as well. I feel like someone finds you very attractive. Could be a water sign. I think you've had a little water sign showing up in your readings for the past couple weeks, so it wouldn't really surprise me. Could be any sign. This is a general reading, but I feel someone finds you very attractive. You have the Queen of Wands and the Empress. Doesn't matter what gender you are either. You have the Knight of Cups here going towards the Empress, so definitely gives me knight in shining armor vibes going on here. I would also say that we seem to be in a time of moving towards your passions as well. She has a sunflower. The sunflower points towards the sun, so she just moves towards things that bring her joy, happiness, enlightenment, all that other good stuff. So, I would move towards the things that you value. You have that Sacred Reverence card, and that Sacred Reverence card is like the things that you hold close to your heart. And, it could be anything. It could be just things that you value doing during the day. It could be people, places, things. And so it just says value those things, and then you will attract more of them. You have the King of Cups. I definitely feel you could be attracting someone here who's probably a water sign. You have the King and Queen of Wands here. And those 2 cards together are great. They represent a very strong, desireful connection where there is a lot of desire, hot and heavy as well here, Leo. So I definitely feel there could be that type of connection going on here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I do feel like there's a little bit of an obstacle to overcome this right here. 10 of Wands to the 4 Cups to the Moon. I don't think this has to be a bad thing at all. It looks like a little accident, like not accident. That's how I was thinking of happy little accidents. I don't think it's an accident. I think what this is a small obstacle. Maybe you work with this person and maybe there are rules against dating people you work with. This person could live at like a tiny distance, like 2 hours away or something like that, where it's like, it's not really long. Like I wouldn't really consider that like super long distance, but it is annoying to have to drive, even an hour to see a person, right? So even if you met halfway, and what I would say here is that, it kind of looks like something along those lines. And so if there's a little bit of an annoyance, I wouldn't allow this to, get in the way of this connection. It looks to me like this could be a very, very good connection for you. So, definitely something I would think about. I'm also getting something about the home here. The King of Cups is a clue card to me. I don't always say this, but I have certain cards in the tarot that I consider clue cards other than their traditional meaning. And the King of Cups to me sometimes comes up when people are moving or will move in the future. And of course, I'm not, people always ask me, do I have to move? No, if you don't want to move, don't move. But, tarot doesn't control your life. But I do feel some of you could be moving. It could be a little bit surprising as well, just because I think it would be a surprise here with this 10 of Wands, because 10 of Wands, sometimes I look at as a little bit of a stretch, might be one of those things where maybe you get an opportunity to move, but you don't really have the money, but you kind of do, just like a little bit of a stretch here. And that's really the feeling I get from all 3 of these cards actually right here. 10 of Wands, 4 Cups, the Moon. But I also feel like there's going to be a big reward on the other side of it. The Moon, there are those mountains in the background. And the mountains in the tarot represent achievement. So I really feel like I would take this little bit of a stretch. I don't even think it's that much of a risk, whatever it is. It could be a person, like I said, but for others, I kind of feel it could be like a move or even like a new job opportunity. Before I keep running my gums here, let's move on. But you have the Queen of Wands. You have this, I'm using this Lenormand deck to clarify. This photograph card is not a traditional Lenormand card. It's just an extra card in this deck. It can represent the past returning in this deck, nostalgia, kind of like the Six of Cups. I don't really feel like the past is returning. I do feel that for some of you, it could be a person's past that is getting in the way here. So I definitely feel that, like maybe you're ready for love, but maybe this person is still getting over the past. It could also be you, take it how it resonates. But I feel that, this is kind of, it looks to me, again, I feel with this reading, things aren't exactly clear with that moon card, but intuitively, I feel that you're finally getting to the point where this is opening up or this will be opening up to you. So, I wouldn't really worry about any of that. With the King of Cups, you have the mice card, slow movement. Exactly what I was saying. I mean, the mice, literally, when you think about it, mice chew through walls very slowly. And, you're like one of the last reading. I only have one more reading after you. And almost every single person has had the mice. And like I said, mice can represent like small problems, number one. But to me, the mice really just represent slow progress in the Lenormand card reading system. And, so there are a couple of things. Number one, sometimes we just snap out of it and we just stop making slow progress. But also, it could say, like, if you are making slow progress in your life, in whatever area of your life, doesn't matter, it kind of says you need to learn leverage. Like, there could be certain things in life that you're not leveraging that would make your life a lot easier. So, again, I can't answer that question for you because I don't know what you're trying to improve in your life, but I would look at the areas that you're improving and say, like, what better ways are there to do this, to do what I'm doing? And I feel like I always say that to you. With the King of Wands, you have this Tunnel card. Again, also not a real Lenormand card. It says journey, passage, refuge, exploring the subconscious. And again, I do feel it would be a good time for you to kind of do some deep diving into yourself here with this energy. So it doesn't really surprise me. I feel a lot of you could be kind of like studying up on things, learning new things about life, learning a lot about yourself. I even feel that here, I'm going to show you, this really stood out to me at the beginning of the reading. Not the two cards that wanted to come out, but this one right here. It says victim energies on it, and it says victim mindset keeping you blocked energetically and emotionally. Some of you, that could be true. I feel it could be your own victim mindset, but for others, I feel like this is people that you have dealt with is kind of what I'm getting here. It's, it's like sometimes I think what people don't realize, if you deal with a person who's always telling victim stories, right? Maybe they are a victim. I'm not discounting anyone's experience here, but if they're always telling victim stories and that's the only stories that they are telling about their life, then they're looking to be a victim. So again, I would be careful. Like, especially if you're meeting a new person, if they're always talking about how they were never wrong and, everyone else did them dirty, that might be a warning sign. But kind of intuitively, what I'm getting here is not even that. I feel like you are seeing this. I feel you are seeing how past people, past situations, maybe you got sucked into these victim, narratives or whatever you want to call it. And I feel you are setting yourself free from that energy. I feel like you're almost realizing that you can't help people who just want to be victims, right? It can become addictive for some people. And those people, especially if they're adults, they just have to save themselves. There's nothing you can do, for those people. You have this May card. It says, now is the time to seek change. You have this April card. It says, what you work on now will be fruitful. Yes, I feel you're seeing results. You have the Eight of Pentacles and underneath the Empress, like literally having a harvest. So I feel now is the time to put in the work into whatever you want to work. You have the Knight of Cups, Ten of Wands, and the Devil. The Knight of Cups, of course, could be a knight in shining armor. It looks like he's making an offer right here to that person. The only thing I don't like is, again, also this right here, Four Cups to the Hangman. It could be a Pisces for some of you. I think you've been getting Pisces with me for a while. And what I would say here, though, is it looks to me like someone is either not seeing the offer or something. Again, I feel like this is a minor thing. I want to clarify the moon because I have a feeling that moon card is going to give us what the answer is here. We might get some other stuff, but, I'm just saying. And so, again, could be a knight in shining armor, but it looks to me like someone is moving too slowly. So definitely something to think about. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands carrying a heavy burden. So I feel for a lot of you, I kind of feel like you need more leverage in your life. I'm almost 1,000,000,000% sure I've said this to you in the past. So if I have, then I would be looking at learning leverage. Again, some of the best places to learn leverage are like reading books, watching YouTube videos from smart people, things like that. Those are all great ways to learn leverage. I just think that whatever you're trying to improve in your life, whatever area of life you're trying to improve, there's probably a better way to do it. And again, without knowing what you're trying to improve, I can't tell you what it is. Obviously it's a general reading. Put your thinking cap on and, go look for better ways of doing things. Because again, you're probably wasting time with the devil. The devil can be an energy vampire, but it could also just be you doing things the hard way. The devil is Saturn. And what I would say is we've had a lot of energy in Capricorn. We had Saturn in Capricorn back in 2016 for a few years. Then we had Pluto. We've had Pluto in Capricorn, and it's retrograding in Capricorn right now. So for a lot of you, this could be the energy of again, efficiency and needing to be efficient. There might be just better ways of doing things. So, I would just, do your research, right? And all this other stuff. It's funny, like recently, not to talk too much about myself here, but recently, like I've had a bunch of moments where like I've seen people doing things that go against the rules. I don't mean like real rules. I mean, like on YouTube, there's a guy that I started, I got into a group with, and he's on YouTube. He has millions of subscribers, and his videos are all like 2 hours long, which is like crazy for YouTube. Like that does not work according to the YouTube experts. And it's like all of a sudden I had a million examples like that in other areas of my life where, people doing things that don't work according to the experts. And again, sometimes I just think we have to learn through experience. And I'm kind of getting that here where it's saying that, again, I feel there are things that you could do that maybe you feel like don't work, but I would try it anyway, especially in business. Like there might be certain things that people are like, oh, that's dead. That doesn't work anymore, right? I hear that all the time in business. So like, oh, that technique is dead, but really it still works for somebody. So, again, I would try new things. With that Knight of Cups, you have this whip card. The whip is about whipping yourself in the back, punishing yourself. So make sure that you're like not beating yourself up. Also make sure, like sometimes again, if we make a mistake in love, I think sometimes we say, okay, I'm not going to have love again. And we're just punishing ourselves. So, I feel like this is saying like, don't punish yourself, especially if a good person is coming in. With the Ten of Wands, here you go. You have the Snowflake card. Again, not a real Lenormand card. This is an Oracle card, and this just represents like someone unique. So I do feel there could be someone special and unique coming in for you. It could also be you, in a lot of ways. So I feel like there could be like a real individual coming in for you. It could be the two of you. Again, if you're attracting love here, I do kind of feel this is a love reading for some of you. I feel like there is a unique experience coming in for you. Again, in business, you have your own unique experience. I encourage people to learn from other people, of course, but I always say there are so many things I do on this channel that don't work according to the YouTube experts. It's like I just try everything. Some things work, some things don't, right? And some things that people say definitely don't work, definitely work for me. So, again, you have your own unique path, your own unique experience. And if you're trying to be like everybody else, then, things aren't going to work. But I feel like when you kind of listen to yourself and do what you want to do, then things are going to work. With the Devil, you have this dice card. See, I do feel like this person is going to take a risk. It's either you or them. Take it how it resonates. It's like someone is holding back here, I feel. It's either you or them, as if this is a love situation. For some of you, I feel like this is one of those situations. I've said this to you before, where it's like if you work with this person or if you're friends with this person, it's like everyone around you knows that you're into each other except for the two of you. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those situations where it's like everybody knows that you're constantly flirting with each other and everybody's like, oh my God, get a room, right? But it's like the two of you are totally clueless. I get that type of thing going on here. So I don't know, it's popping into my head. I would take the risk, plain and simple, or they are going to take the risk on you. I feel like they're going to do it. Again, I still want to clarify that moon card, but, we'll see. Next, you have this Dragon's Lair card and you have this flying card. I feel like you're going to be flying high. I feel like you're kind of like protecting your gold. Dragons protect gold, but I kind of feel that this is you. I feel like you're protecting what is valuable to you. And I also feel like you're flying high. I feel like a lot of you are going to be feeling really good by the time we get to the end of this month. I have a feeling that, again, I kind of have a feeling this second half of this month is going to be really good for you. But then as we move throughout the summer, I think things are going to continue to get more abundant and to like improve. I also get the sense that some of you could be overcoming an obstacle like a lot easier than you think, but I'm not suggesting that it's easy. I just think that, again, it kind of is popping into my head right now as a move for whatever reason. Maybe you think a move is going to be super complicated or whatever, but it looks to me like something, it's just falling into place. Things are clicking into place as you start to go through the process. And I think that's confirmation from the universe. Like if things start to click into place, that's the universe being like, yes, keep moving in this direction. It could be something else. Like if you're setting up a business or if you're thinking about getting another job, I feel you find something that just kind of clicks, has this clicky feeling to me, and I would move in that direction. You have the Empress, the Four Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Again, harvest time. Definitely a harvest time for you. I feel that there could be some really big harvests coming in for you, especially if you've already been doing work. I always say that you have the Eight of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles can represent material success on the horizon, basically getting paid for work that you've already done. So I do feel for a lot of you, there could be some abundance coming in for past work that you've done. Or again, if you're doing work right now, there could be new abundance coming in. I feel like you're very attractive at this time. I do feel like you've been getting a lot of offers as well, but nothing's really been, getting you off your butt here, right? He's getting these offers, but he's just kind of like, nothing's really exciting me. Nothing is getting me moving. Some of you, I feel like you've just totally been not even just dating at all. Like maybe some of you have just been kind of hanging out, doing nothing, right? And I feel like you've been maybe waiting for more excitement. We even see that, actually, if we go here, his head is glowing on the Hangman. It's like, sometimes I feel like the Hangman is just that knowing that something is going to work and just avoiding everything else, So I feel like you've been kind of waiting for that clarity. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which says maybe you've just been working on something. I don't know, I feel like your money's about to change, or something about your money is about to change here. I feel like there could be more improvements and, good things. And sorry, I like I've said to other people, I dropped this camera, and so that's why it doesn't focus anymore, or it takes forever to focus now. I have a new one coming, but for whatever reason, it's like cameras are impossible to get right now, so I have to wait like 3 weeks for a new camera to show up, but whatever. We're going to deal with it for now. And what I would say is the Eight of Pentacles is a card of like putting in the work. So I feel like you're putting in the work. I also feel like if you're getting a new job or doing something new, that this is like a lot more money coming in for you. I really see you increasing your money. For a lot of you, I kind of feel this is pretty deep. Like I feel like you're changing your money story as well. If you've had the same financial story for many years, I feel that is changing for whatever reason in a good way. With the Empress, you have the Coffin. Yes, the Coffin is a card of like transformation. But normally in the traditional Lenormand, the coffin door is closed. So it represents needing to go through a transformation, or, the coffin basically represents your old life. Outside the coffin is your new life. You're like charging forward to a new life. Yeah, with the Four Cups, see, this is what you're waiting for. You have the Man. The Man is like a man, but again, general reading, whatever gender you're into. It could kind of be, like a knight in shining armor. Not really, though. The Rider in the Lenormand is more the knight in shining armor, but I kind of get that feeling here where there could be something unique that does get you up off your butt, that actually does motivate you. This could also be work, by the way, as well. I'm kind of getting here. You have the Knight in Shining Armor, Knight of Cups, but going this way to the Hangman, sometimes I feel we maybe try to force ourselves to be motivated, like we have a job that we hate and we try to force it, but really it would be better to do nothing and find the thing that we actually want to do that gets us up in the morning, right? And I kind of feel that for some of you, where you could be getting something where you're more motivated to do it job-wise. Like maybe it's like you're doing your job, you're, whatever, great, but it's like I feel some of you are getting something that you actually want to do. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Snake. Every single person, I kid you not, has had a card, either this or there's a card called the Fox in this deck as well, which is a traditional Lenormand card. I would be careful with sneaky people and past people. You have the Snake and the Devil. And so I would be careful of, tricky people, things like that. And everyone's had something, so it's probably just a collective, thing that people are dealing with. Next, you have this card that says, in the middle of a bridge. You have this other card that says, surfing rainbows on the moon. I don't know. This is a trippy deck. I saw I had to get it. It's that simple, right? The real reason I got this deck is because there's a Sasquatch card, and that's really the reason I got it. So there you go. But, I feel for a lot of you that there's like some sort of dream that you need to manifest on Earth. I almost feel with this bridge card that it's like you need to make a decision. I also feel you need to not be afraid. What I'm getting here is needing to be kind of controversial. It's like, I feel like I've said this to you before, Leo. It's like, don't be afraid to have an opinion. I think there's two ways to go, right, in the world. Like if you, if you, like online, a lot of social media teachers, right, people who teach social media and things like that, they encourage people to basically piss a group of people off. Like, let's say that you don't like a certain group of people. We're not talking about in a bad way. We're just saying, it's better to be polarizing because then you attract more the people that you want to follow you, right? Which is true. Great way to do things. But I think it's like better to not sit on a fence. If you're going to be polarizing, be polarizing. If you're not going to be polarizing, don't be polarizing, right? And I see a lot of people kind of going back and forth. I get that here for some reason, where it's like, I feel like you're trying too hard to please two sides here. And again, not a criticism. We've all been there. We've all done it. This could be in love. This could be in business. It could be like between your family, what your family wants, and what someone else wants, right, in your life. And I feel like this is saying, like, don't be afraid to piss someone off, because it's not their life. It's your life. Who cares? So I kind of feel these two cards are saying you need to live your life. You have the Knight of Swords, the Moon, and the Hangman. I feel like this could be a person who's rushing in to communicate with you here. I wouldn't rush. I definitely don't think it's a good time to necessarily rush into anything or be pushed into anything, but I do feel that there's communication coming in for you. Of course, you have the Moon. The Moon is about getting to these mountains in the background because that's where your achievements are, and I feel like you're ready. You have the Hangman. The Hangman has sacrificed movement and to gain enlightenment, but I feel for a lot of you, it's like saying, okay, now you have the answers on like what you need to do in your life, so it's time to get moving. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Trumpet. Again, not an Oracle. This is one of the Oracle cards in this deck, and it just says victory, resurrection, awakening, decisiveness. Yes, I feel like Knight of Swords, decisiveness. I feel like you need to take decisive action towards a new life because it's going to be very abundant. So any changes you're making are going to be very abundant for you. With the Moon, you have the Crossroads. Keep going the path that you're on. Crossroads is about choices and decisions to make, but it's also a card hesitation. I feel like the Moon is saying, once you step off on this journey towards the Moon, do not stop. Do not hesitate. The Moon kind of does say, don't hesitate. It's dark. It's a mystery. It represents fears. But I always say it's part of the Fool's journey. He needs to get to those mountains to have an achievement. The Moon itself could represent like some sort of dream or fantasy that you have. This card here says surfing rainbows on the moon. That is like, that is like some sort of fantasy weird thing going on there. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you could have some crazy ideas right now, but you need to see them through to the end. Don't hesitate. And what do you know? With the Hangman, you have the Moon. The Moon in the Lenormand is a little bit different. I frequently say the Moon in the Lenormand represents bringing a dream down to earth. So again, I feel that here, that you need to bring some sort of dream or fantasy or whatever down to earth. We're going to pull 5 main themes now here, Leo, and that's going to be that. Let's see what we get for you here. You have the discovery card. This is a card of being open to discovery. Just be open to like surprise yourself and other ways of doing things. I think that's the name of the game for you for the rest of your life. I've been saying this to you since, I don't know, like the beginning of this channel, literally. Go back to my oldest videos from like 9 years ago and you will see. I've been saying that, everything that Leo wants, I think, is by changing up their story, doing something new, different, experimenting, all that other good stuff. You have this devotion card. I really feel you're attracting a person who will be devoted to you if you want love, for sure. Definitely a good connection. You have this drama card. I would avoid drama. I would avoid victims as well, right? It doesn't mean you can't help people, but again, sometimes people just want to be a victim, and I would be careful of those people. Usually those people drag you down, especially if you give them advice and they don't take it. I think, again, I don't think there's, I want to stress, I don't think there's anything wrong with helping a victim or someone who is a victim in life, but it's like you can't force them to do things, and so if they're not going to do it, there's no point in helping them, right? I always say, like, don't, if you can't swim and someone is drowning, then if you go try to save them, you're just going to drown too. Next, you have this criticism card. I feel like you need to accept valid criticisms here. It's like there could be people who have good ideas and maybe you take it the wrong way this month, but I would just listen, Next, you have this escape card. I actually feel pretty good about this. I feel you're kind of like escaping limiting circumstances or anything that's holding you back. And again, leverage is a big word for you. It has been for a while. So I would be focusing on leverage in your life. But this is a really good reading. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.